KCAA Radio, Loma Linda, where no listener is ever left behind.
All right. Happy New Year. 2025 has finally arrived. So, my name is Charles Whitehead. I am the host of the Cool Veteran Show, and I'm here to say, hey, you know what? This is how it is. This is the place where the topics are hot, but the people are cool. I have a couple of co-hosts that are joining me today. There will be Martha Varela and Elizabeth Yale. Let's see who we have here. Who do we have here? They're calling in from their remote today. I'm not hearing anything.
I'm here, Charles.
Oh, okay. That's Elizabeth Yao, co-host. Elizabeth, welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Cool Veteran Show. It's good to see you back. And even though I can't see you, but to see you are back is what I mean. And that 25 is going to be a great year. And we're just waiting for Martha to call in, and we're going to get going. But we can talk now anyway. Just how's your day going, and how was your Christmas, and how's your transition to the New Year going so far, Elizabeth?
Oh, it's going well. Thank you. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and all of your listeners. And, I'm looking forward to a wonderfully blessed New Year, and I'm praying for the rest of you and Martha and all of your listeners for the same. Great.
I don't know if Martha's going. She says she'll be here. I know she was dealing with the flu. She was a little sick, but that's okay. What we can do is we can start off, and Elizabeth, this is the first show of the year, and what we're going to do is, of course, we have the four basic topics here. It's veterans, disabled people, music, and sports. And I've kind of brought in the music part last time, and what we're going to do is, during our breaks, some of our breaks, we're just going to play music that's been written and produced by myself and the band Per Se. And we are the band Per Se, the band, P-E-R-S-E, 2 words. But, Elizabeth, tell us, what did you do when you were in the military, and how it's got you to where you are now? What are you doing these days?
Well, I started my professional journey about 3, 4, 5 decades ago, and originally born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I entered into the military when I was only 19 years old, and signed up and became a cryptologic technician operator. This was before anybody even knew what the word cryptology meant, and I specialized in network defense and forensics, which in layman terms means conducting worldwide computer network operations, encrypted communications in support of the Navy and DoD missions. But then once I, fulfilled my duties and exited out of the military, I headed to Minnesota. I discharged out, started living in Minnesota. But after 2 years of Minnesota winters, I headed west to California. I actually started out my civilian professional career in San Francisco, in California, and then transferred with the company I was then with to Los Angeles, where I still live today. And then life happened, right? I got married. I had 2 kids, acquired 2 dogs. And today that's really brought me to, being an entrepreneur. I'm a published author, also a John Maxwell certified coach, trainer, and speaker, university board member, and founder and CEO of BCI Consulting. My firm really focuses on coaching and consulting. We work with across the span, but mainly focused on executives, business owners, small business owners in particular, and young professionals. So as we are, living in and working in a very cross-generational environments in the workforce today. I really put my focus on helping executives manage that type of environment and also young professionals trying to navigate it. So, I'm really here to be a servant leader. I love serving and helping people still, even after my military service. I think it's just ingrained in us for the rest of our lives. And now I'm here with you, really hoping to, help you and support you in really providing a wonderful show for your listeners. So thanks for letting me be a part of this. This is a wonderful blessing, and I'm really excited to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here. I mean, I remember, excuse me, I had another show. We had that's why I met Elizabeth. It was a different show, and it was a different format, and but that was, like I say, different format. This is a different. This is radio, whereas the other one was we were doing a lot of Zoom, and it came with all of its little ups and downs and things like that. But being on the radio is a different animal, and I absolutely enjoy it. And especially I remember when Elizabeth was on the show before, it was great having her there. So I absolutely. When I said, got to find somebody who can be like who's good with public speaking and, all of these things, and you fit the bill, and I'm like, okay, boom, there it is, a no-brainer. Let's get Elizabeth in. Do we have the Martha yet? I think she's calling now. She's in now. But anyway, yeah, it's great. I'm glad to have you in, Elizabeth. I look forward to working. Okay, so I think we have Martha on the line now. Martha Varela. She's the executive director of the PVA, Paralyzed Vets of America, the Long Beach chapter, which is California chapter in Long Beach, and I'm the president. So, Martha, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
All right, yes, Martha. So you welcome aboard. Welcome, Happy New Year. This is, of course, Charles Whitehead, and Elizabeth Yao is on the line. And Elizabeth just kind of gave us a little intro about what she did in the military and where she's at now. And so we're gonna jump right on you right now and do. Can you give us a little intro? Tell us a little about yourself.
Sure, absolutely. Happy New Year, Elizabeth. Happy New Year, Charles, and anyone listening.
Thank you.
As Charles mentioned, my name is Martha Varela. I'm the Executive Director, Paralyzed Veterans of America, California chapter, located in Long Beach, California, inside of the VA, Long Beach VA Hospital. We are primarily charged with helping veterans that have the spinal cord injury or spinal cord disease like MS or ALS, although we are open to working with all veterans. In the military, I was a 91 Bravo. At that time, I think the MOS may have changed over the years, but I was trained for combat medic. And so I spent about 6 years in the Minnesota Army National Guard, active, and then 4 years inactive. I enlisted in 1990. I was a junior in high school and went to basic training in AIT shortly after senior graduation from high school. So I currently, have worked with, within the last 5 years, worked with women veterans and homeless veterans, and then now most recently working with the Paralyzed Veterans of America in Long Beach.
Great. Excuse me. That's, you know what, and Elizabeth just mentioned, and I didn't notice, Martha's from Minnesota, and guess where, Elizabeth, did you say you're from Ohio, but you went to Minnesota or something like that?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Cleveland,
I
Ohio.
grew up in Minnesota. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Where in Minnesota, Martha?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, great. When I got out of the military, I moved to Minneapolis and lived in Minnetonka.
Oh, cool.
And worked in the city, yeah.
Okay,
At the time, I was working for Anderson Consulting before, the whole Enron thing happened.
Sure, yes. No, I went to the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis, so I'm very familiar with Minneapolis as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. And we're both out here where we have escaped those winters.
And the funny
it's
thing
cold
is,
here in Minnesota. I'm here. I came to visit for the holidays, and man, it is cold out here today. I sure don't miss this cold, that's for sure. Just a light blanket of snow on the ground, but it's more so the cold, I think, makes it unbearable.
It's funny because Elizabeth did say, she was like, oh, it was she had to be glad to be back here in California because it's cold out there. Yeah. You know, it's just too much. I can't deal with cold.
Yeah.
Put me in a nice warm room, I'm okay. I can deal with the heat better than I can the cold.
Me too.
Well, that's good to know. Me myself, I went to the Defense Mapping School at Fort Belvoir. So I joined the U.S. Army Reserves in 1981, shortly after I graduated, and then I went to basic training in Fort Belvoir, Fort Dix, New Jersey, and then I went to the Defense Mapping School in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, and I graduated from that. And once I got to back here after having a formal accident, I think I might have talked about this on the last show, but I ended up with the here in California doing just working with the reserve unit. And the funny thing about that is, back in the days, I used to have a limousine service, so they had me doing paperwork that I wasn't really technically qualified to do, but I had a business mind, and they had me driving trucks when we went down to Camp Pendleton. I'm driving these big Army trucks because part of my other raising is I've lived on a farm, and so I've driven tractors and worked the fields and all of these things. So I come from a southern background to coming to California, working in Beverly Hills and all of that in limousine service, and it's just. But I am here today, being I worked 20 years, 29, 30 years at Rancho Los Amigos, which is a great rehab facility in Downey, and as I went back and started volunteering in 1994, I got hired full time, and it just really Rancho's a big part of my whole life. I feel like I can never give back enough, and today I'm still part of the Cultural Diversity Council. I go out there and I play music for the farmers market. I'm in the performing arts group. I think I'm like one of the oldest active members of the performing arts group, and it's like 20-some years. And so here I am, and I ran and I was elected president here in past July, so of the PVA. So I keep myself busy, and music is my passion. So for me, life is great. I mean, to be honest, 6 years ago almost, I was very sick, and I almost didn't make it. But I could say now, the blessings of God have really helped me, because now I feel as great as I've ever felt in my life. Physically, I just feel great, and part of that is just putting the right nutrients in my body. The right electrolytes, vitamin B12. I eat yogurt before I go to bed every night. Things like this help me, give me energy, and it just keeps myself going. So, with all of that said and done, here we are, 2025. So, do you guys have a New Year's resolution? I know people like to ask that. Some people are like, not really. Martha, do you have a New Year's resolution?
No.
Oh, there it is.
It all came so fast.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, okay. How about yourself, Elizabeth?
Yes, I do. I actually want to. My overall goal is to leave my 9 to 5 this year and fully be able to build up a clientele to depend on my company's income fully and solely. So that's my goal, my resolution, my goal, and my prayer topic for this year, as well as starting my own podcast. I currently have an online business professionals group called Faith and Leadership on an online platform called Clubhouse, and I'm moving into my 4th year. This year will make 4 years that we've been gathering on the platform, and it's grown quite a following over the few years that I've been doing well, that God's had me doing this really. And so I'd like to take that platform or take that concept and take that group and move it to a full-time podcast. So that's really my one of my second overall goal. I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but this is kind of this realm. What you're doing, Charles, is really what I'd love to follow and make a full-time thing for myself.
Okay, great. And me, myself, I just enjoy doing life. Music is my passion. People are helping people. And, I'm doing it. And I'm living it. And I have a lot of opportunities and things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first break, and we're going to actually play one of the songs from Per Se, the band. It's called Contradiction. And I think we put this out in like 2011 or 12, something like that. We got a lot of songs that we haven't published, but we're going to hit our first break, and then when we come back, we'll kind of go to where we're looking to go in with the show on the other side.
Shoodle-dip, beat-it, shoodle-dip, bop-beam-bom. Shoodle-dip, beat-it, shoodle-dip, bop-beam-bom. Shoodle-dip, beat-it, shoodle-dip, bop-beam-bom. Shoodle-dip, beat-it, oh-de-oh-de-oh-bom. Contradiction is the name of the game. Well, contradiction ought to be a shame. Contradiction all of the time. Contradiction blowing my mind. Say it again. Contradiction is the name of the game. Well, now contradiction ought to be ashamed. Good God, contradiction everywhere you turn. Well, now contradiction, will we ever learn? Listen. Say you want peace, but you start a war. And you want to be free, but you pass a new law. Everybody's equal, but you segregator. Every man is your brother, but your neighbor you hate. Let's do it again now. Contradiction is the name of the game. Well, now contradiction, you ought to be ashamed. Contradiction all of the time. Good God, contradiction blowing my mind.
You wanna be healthy, but you eat junk food. Pop pills, drink alcohol, and break all the rules. You wanna be wise and develop your mind, but you're living off gossip all of the time.
Hey, it's contradiction is the name of the game. Ooh, contradiction, you ought to be ashamed. Well, now contradiction, everywhere you turn. Good God, contradiction, will we ever learn? Well, now you ought to be what you are, instead of trying to be something that you ain't. Everybody ought to show their own true colors, instead of trying to be a saint, because you ain't.
All right, we're back. We're not contradicting ourselves. We are here. So, great. So now what we want to do is we want to kind of go into the direction of where we want to head this, take this radio show and see exactly what's going to happen, because I feel like this is a blessing for us to be on the radio and with all of the KCAA listening members. I believe it's like 5 million listeners and so we want to be able to show that we as veterans are really providing resources and for veterans, not only veterans, but resources for veterans, disabled people, and just in general life. And so part of what I want to do is I want to make sure that we get out and we go to like events that are being held for veterans and events that are held for disabled people and music festivals, things like that. So they all kind of tie in together. And what that means, but at the end of the day, we really have to be focused on trying to bring the products to our listeners and to our members because they are the ones that are important. This is great, and this for me is an opportunity to get people to come on board. So if you're listening out there in Radio Land and you want to become a sponsor, give us a call here at KCAA, or you can give me a call at the Long Beach VA at our PVA office, or send an email to info@pvacc.org, or you can call our office at 562-826-5713. So, Elizabeth, what is your, what do you see as an outtake of how we want to move forward? You being a public speaker and all, is there anything that really that moves you?
The one thing that moves me is really helping leaders, and especially veterans who are not currently in leadership positions, acquire them. I think educating the public or civilian sector and how valuable it is to have veterans in and throughout their teams and throughout their organizations. And that's something I'm really passionate about. I've realized, as a veteran myself, that there are not always a lot of variety with jobs, with positions of leadership, really. And for me, I think military veterans make wonderful leaders. We make wonderful mentors. And that's something that's really always been a forefront for me to kind of advocate and, elevate veterans to that specific level if they're not able to find that. It was hard for me to find for, quite some number of years because I think there's such a misconception about all that veterans bring to the civilian workforce. So that's something that I definitely want to always continue to champion for is our veteran community, especially women veterans, and finding and attaining these leadership roles and helping to kind of help existing organizations or even startups, entrepreneurs realize the value add of having our people from the veteran community involved in their organizations, either as a support, as staff, or as investors.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean that it makes it makes a lot of sense because some people think, they have they may have this negative perception of veterans being the ones you see on the street who are homeless and all, and that's not exactly the correct model to assume that. And as well as women, the women veterans are few and far between as well, and it's a shame that women veterans sometimes feel like they're not veterans, and this is something that of course we've talked about this before, and we have to keep talking about it to make sure that the women are recognized for what they've done, and not just sitting back, struggling and feeling like, oh, I'm not, So that to me is important. As what you said is everything. What's the saying? Oh, what she said. Yeah, that's it's a great thing. Now, Martha, how about yourself? What do you look forward to? How do you see us moving forward and trying to, raise the awareness of this of our veteran population?
Well, just to bring awareness to the fact that the Southern California Edison group company had given the PVA a grant to help strengthen our communication program. And doing this radio show is definitely one thing that we can do to reach our listeners, our members. And the beautiful thing is that it's not just for our veteran members, but all veterans, all elderly, those that are, living on fixed incomes, and particularly those that are in the high fire zone, to start bringing awareness to resources that are available, and open up a communication line for all of those that need to get this important information as we're now dealing with inclement weather and fires, earthquakes, and all that. So my goal is to kind of help share those resources and programs that the Southern California Edison has to offer the community, because as we've discovered, these are very, very much needed resources and programs that people do not know are available. So that is my goal, to kind of just continue to connect those resources, Southern California Edison and the PVA, so that our listening audience can, if they are in need of some of these valuable community resources, are able to connect and get some of that information and help if they need to.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I know there's, and I talked about this, I believe, at the last show, through Edison, through the American Heart Association, we've partnered up with some great organizations as well with them, and one of them being Niagara Water. So I think I told this thing where we were supposed to get 2 pallets of water delivered to our office at the PVA, and it ended up being 4. And so we're literally drowning in water in the PVA office almost, and it's but we made it work, and that being Niagara Water. And so what we'll do is, when we come back on our final segment, we will talk about the actual those sources of our sponsors and things like that. But what I want to do is just, what my goal, and again, this with this radio show, is to make sure that we put ourselves out there and know that people can get in touch with us. I mean, just before I came here, maybe an hour and something ago, I got a text about someone who needs some assistance. They have someone they feel is suicidal right now, and I told them, well, give me a minute, let me do this, and then I'll get back. So these things come all the time. You just don't know. You can't assume that people have help, because they don't. And so we really, 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 I mean, for me, it's like, connecting the dots. Put the resource for the person that needs help mentally, physically, financially, just spiritually, however we can to help someone get out of a bind. This is the platform, and what I see coming down here also is we're going to start hooking up with other veteran organizations, like the Blinded Veterans, and then there's the Rosies. I have a connection with the Rosies, the Rosie the Riveters organization, and just the music organizations. So I want to be able to take it all, and it becomes this show becomes like a melting pot for everyone that needs to reach out. They can come here to either give resources or receive. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our second break. Now, before we go to the music, I just want to say, people have struggles, and unfortunately in life, things come up. But I like to try to be positive, and I like to send messages. And so this next song is one of our songs that per se is called "Hold On," and basically Herman Hogan, who wrote the song, he says he was having a hard time when with his ex-wife and kids were kind of like, he came home and they were gone, and as the story goes, that someone told him, he says, Herman, he says, the darkest hour is just before day or something. He said, hold on. So Herman wrote this song. So if you feel like you're struggling in life or anything, listen to the words of this song, and hopefully you can grab something from it. This is "Hold On" by Per Se the Band. Thank you.
And hold on, oh, don't you give up. Don't turn and walk away. You hold on and don't give up. There'll be a brighter day. There'll be a brighter day. There will be a brighter day. Darkest hour is just before day. So hold on, don't give up. Violent storm, it won't last always. So hold on, don't give up. You've got to hold on and don't give up. Don't turn and walk away. Hold on, my brothers and my sisters, 'cause I'll be a brighter day. Be a brighter day. I know there'll be a brighter day. Hold on, hold on. When you're down and down, hold on, hold on. When you need a friend, long smile is one step at a time. So hold on, don't give up. Greatest fight is within the mind. So hold on, don't give up. You gotta hold on and don't give up. Don't turn and walk away. Hold on, hold on. There'll be a brighter day. There'll be a brighter day. I know that there'll be a brighter day.
All right, we're back. So that was the short version of Hold On. You know, it's just hold on, don't give up, no matter what. You know, there's someone out there or something that made it, that could be the change for you, and that's our job as mentors and leaders, is to be the difference for someone else. So hold on. So what we'll do now is we'll continue to talk about our sponsors. Martha, would you like to take the lead on this and kind of give us, go with the our talking points and things that we need to know? People need to know, what is it that we are doing behind the microphone, so we can be in front of the mic and talk about it. But behind the mic is a different thing, and behind the camera is different as well.
Yes, I wanted to just talk a little bit about this really interesting informational packet on the Southern California Edison website for the community. It's a community resource guide. Talks a little bit about some of the assistance and resources that are available to the community. And in particular, after the holidays, a lot of times, people are still in need of help and assistance, could be because of the holidays or, not because of the holidays, but generally the holidays tend to be a tough time for folks just in general. So I want to talk a little bit about programs that are available. So first and foremost, the Southern California Edison has arrangement or assistance for folks who need help paying their bill. One of the interesting things is that if you are elderly, you are on a fixed income, or even, have designated money at a certain time of the month to pay your bill, there's also what's called the Choose Your Date So if you, get, I guess maybe Social Security income, or you get, veterans income, or maybe income just at the first of the month and would like to change your due date, right? Sometimes those due dates don't always align, but people don't know that you can actually change your due date. So if that's an easier way for you to stay on top of your bill, also having a conversation with the Southern California Edison folks, talk about what your income, current income is versus what your energy needs are. There's also discounted rate programs for those that, again, are on fixed incomes, whether it's Social Security, veterans income, or you're just, at a retirement stage that she can, or, that you need, just to keep your bill kind of within a certain amount. They will work with you on that as well. And the phone number to call to check on the discounted rate program is 1-800-798 5723. Again, and that's to talk about the discounted rate program to see if you're eligible for a reduced energy rate, and they call that the CARE program. So you provide the California.
Hello?
Has that. Make sure you ask for that CARE program or the FARA program, which gives an 18% discount, again, for those households who have, limited income coming in. So you want to make sure you ask about those. And then if you need, again, help with energy savings assistance programs, so if there's stuff with your refrigeration, your cooling systems, your lighting, or any kind of energy efficiency discounts you may be eligible for, you want to make sure you ask about those as well. That has a separate phone number, 1-800-736-4777. Again, 1-800-736-4777. And then I'll give you that one last number for choosing your due date, because I have personally found sometimes that helps when you're trying to manage, when the bills are getting paid. Some people don't know that is an option to change the date of when the bill is due. That phone number to call, 1-800-655-4555. Again, 1-800-655-4555. And again, all of these wonderful programs can be found on the Southern California Edison website, www.sce.com, under the Community Resource Guide. And it gives, we'll talk when we come back, I can talk a little bit more about some community programs and larger community and government programs, but I wanted to start with the Southern California Edison specific program.
Okay, that's great. We need things like these are good to know, because a lot of times you won't hear about these kind of programs unless you hear somebody talk about it. And so this is the thing, this is the place, because you can't assume that anybody knows anything anymore. With social media, and the times are different. Social media, tends to put out a lot of stuff that's informational, but false information too. So there's just as much of the false information going around as it is the real stuff. So people are, and then you have the scams that are going on with. The technology comes along with all of the negative stuff. So we have cell phones where you get the scammers that are calling you, your internet. You get hacked. The more we get into technology, the more it gets, gets hacked. Even with the electric cars and computers, and people are hacking, and so these resources are things that we need to know, and we want to be able to give it to the people straightforward, not necessarily saying that, don't worry, you should know. You can't know, like just if you know someone who lives up in a risky burn area. They need information that someone who lives at the beach wouldn't need, and so you can't assume anything. And so, to be able to talk about it is absolutely right on time. And so, again, the direction of what we want to do also is we want to make sure when we go out to these disabled events, things like that, us being PVA, we host a lot of events, and we have community partners that we team up with. It's so this is part of the whole Sports Connect, the music and sports, and me myself, of course, I like to bring the music. I take music with me anywhere. If people don't, if the event is kind of dry, and I'm like, hey, let's spice it up. That's my whole push, to make sure that we have the events are lively as possible. If I have to be involved, I want to be able to have some sort of if I have any kind of say, then I like to suggest if you and I brought this to a few places that if you didn't have that they didn't have music, and I suggest they did, and it makes a difference. And so going forward, when we have events, like for one, we'll be having the event at the Aquarium of the Pacific that comes up at the end of this month, and me as the president of the PVA, we started going to the event last year, and we will continue to do this. But as a musician, per se, myself and per se have been going to the aquarium and performing up there for like the last 13 years or something like that. It's always then January they have the Festival of Human Abilities, and then in February they have the African American Festival. So me being a disabled veteran, and the veteran part is just a bonus, but me just being disabled, that's what the Festival of Human Abilities is about. And I actually brought in the fact that maybe we can start recognizing veterans more at that event as well. And so there's a lot coming up. We will continue to talk about these events. Just with the VA partnership and the PVA National, and the different clinics. Martha, I know you have a list of what is it, like 6 events that we as a PVA we sponsor in a year, and every year, and sponsoring
yeah, the VA and the PVA kind of collaboratively work together to sponsor and co-sponsor the 6 VA big games. So there's lots of sponsors. Actually, we co-sponsor the yearly National Veterans, Disabled Veterans Wheelchair, National Wheelchair Games, which Charles had an opportunity to attend last year. But the DAV co-sponsors an event which yearly, which is called the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic, that happens every year at the end of March and first week of April in Snowmass, Colorado, where veterans from any veterans are welcome to go and compete in winter events. It's always in Snowmass, Colorado every year. There's also the Summer Sports Clinic, which is held in San Diego, California. That one, just by default of how small the San Diego is, so it kind of fills up quickly, but that is held in August, last week of August every year in San Diego, co-sponsored with the Wounded Warrior Project and the VA. And then there's the golf tournament, the Golden Age Games, which is also, again, another, that one is for veterans that are over 50 years of age. And it's, again, a yearly golf tournament that the VA co-sponsors every year. And I think that one moves around, much like the wheelchair game moves around across the country. The two that stay, again, Summer Sports Clinic in San Diego and the Winter Sports Clinic stays in Colorado. This year, the Golden Age Games will be held at the end of May, beginning of June in Memphis, Tennessee. And again, that Golden Age Games, no, it's not just golf. I take that back. That is also includes golf, but there's other activities and events. But it's for 50 those of over 50 years of age. So all of this information. There's an art contest as well. I think that's 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then you can always get more information on the va.gov website for those 5 games that I mentioned, and then there's a 6th art competition that and again, the PVA co-sponsors the National Veterans Wheelchair Games every year. This year will be held in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, in July, the week of July 16th, I believe it is, through the 21st. And then, again, you can get more information on the PVA.org website or the VA.org website for any of those registration dates and or informational website information.
Great. That's and that's what it's about. Having giving people the ability to, enjoy their life or things like that. Especially with the PVA, and that's what these organizations are here for our members. And if you're interested in becoming a member, you can always send us info@pvacc.org, or you can call our office at 562-826-5713. Now we're going to go on a quick break. And now, when we come back, we'll wrap it up with some of the, we'll wrap it up with a little bit of more sponsors. Joe, can you play that short version of the downtown Long Beach again? It's like a 2-minute, And so, of course, this platform here is about veterans, disabled people, music, and sports, and we will continue to thrive and to continue. And we'll see you on the other side. And then we'll wrap it up and back here at the Cool Veteran Show.
There's a cool place just south of L.A. where the people go to work and the people go to play. So many sights for you to see. You can take the family through, like the Queen Mary ship and the aquarium too. Once a year you'll see cars racing in the streets. People come from everywhere, checking out the Grand Prix. Go to see a show. Find a place to be, the place you want to go, where the people want to be is in downtown Long Beach, Southern California, USA. Downtown in Long Beach, the city by the waterfront, where the people work and play. Downtown in Long Beach, higher in the air, you can see the skyline, you can even see the port that's busy all the time. From the shoreline, you could take off on a cruise or hang out at the beach and just enjoy the view. People seem to be out shopping everywhere. At the farmer's market, the freshest food is there. If you're going for a date or going just to see, something's always going on downtown in Long Beach. Downtown Long Beach, Southern California, USA. The city by the waterfront, where the people work and play. Downtown in Long Beach, city of Long Beach, where the business people want to meet. Downtown in Long Beach, there's always something going on when you get to Long Beach. Downtown in Long Beach, you might just fall in love with Long Beach. You might just fall in love with Long Beach. You might just fall in love in Long Beach. You might just fall in love in Long Beach.
All right. Downtown Long Beach. Yeah, I remember that. I went back in 2015, I think I wrote that song and made a video and all of that. Anyway, we're back here, and we are going to just finish up with a little information for people who may need products like, let me talk about U2 Mobility real quick. That's my friend John Boxon and his partner Mike over there. These guys are good. U2 Mobility provides wheelchairs, accessories. They have a handlebar, all of the accessories you need for wheelchairs. and they're one of the sponsors for me, and I really give it up to these guys. They're over in Corona. That's again John and Mary. I've known for seemed like forever. And let me just read a little something about U2 Mobility. And they're committed to providing options that will improve you or your family's life. They are committed to joining a group of people that are committed to assisting the disabled. Also, they try to simply searching for and they will try to simplify searching for and providing the product, services, the information in real time, considering that much is involved is on the backside of this business, of their business, but they still strive to provide competitive pricing. When you join U2 Mobility family, you have an option to be a part of the ever-changing demands of knowledge-based customers. U2 is looking forward to working with you and with your family. U2 Mobility has over 30 years of experience in the mobility products. The founder, of course, John Gunner Box and his wife Mary, were the founders of Colors Wheelchair, which they said they sold that some time ago. And see, U2 Mobility is continuing what they have been committed to for some time. It's improving the lives of disabled people within everything that everything they can do. And U2 Mobility understands that what the business of rehab and wheelchairs and accessories and all this other stuff is about. And they are a good community partner, a great friend, John and his wife. And of course, again, they supported me and they're sponsoring me with one of these scouts. It's like a motorcycle wheel attachment for your wheelchair, like a motorcycle. And so, it's electric powered. And so, these guys are, I've known John forever, and him and his wife, Mary, and I'm looking to do some things with U2 Mobility. So if you need anything, you can call them at toll free. It's 855-411-0888, or you can call them at the office at 951-898-0888, and they are in Corona. That's toll-free number again, 855-411-0888 or 951-898-0888. So, Martha, Elizabeth, you guys, I know we're running close. What do we have, Joe? Like 2 minutes? Okay, we got 2 minutes. Anything you guys want to wrap up and talk about, Elizabeth?
Well, thank you so much. It's a great show. Happy New Year once again to you, Martha, all the listeners. It's an honor always and a privilege. I just want to mention that, volunteering is absolutely can be a lifeline for a lot of veterans in the community. And if you don't mind, Charles, I just wanted to share a nonprofit that is just doing wonderful work in Los Angeles, throughout the Los Angeles city area. Sure. If we have listeners in that area, because there's a nonprofit called the Assistance League of Los Angeles, and what they do, and one of the nonprofits I'm a part of is supporting disadvantaged youth throughout the city. And so we provide clothes, school supplies. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities. So if any of our listeners are looking to connect or get involved in community activities, kind of grow a circle of friends or create a new circle. This is a great organization to become a part of. You can call them or find them on the website, and they are always looking for volunteers. And I have met so many veterans who have become friends with over the decades and through volunteer opportunities. So just like with PEV, there's also one that helps kids, if that's an affinity for a lot of veterans. And I just wanted to share that today in case your listeners might be interested.
Oh, great. How can they reach those people?
You can reach the Assistance League by going to their website, assistanceleagueoflosangeles.com. You can Google them. They're very easy to find, and they're located right here in Los Angeles on Sunset Boulevard, down the street right from Netflix.
Oh, great. Oh, so we have about a minute. Martha, you got anything you want to add, throw in there? And are we ready to wrap it up?
No, just kind of what you're saying, echoing what Liz said, that we also, are very thankful for our volunteers. So if there is anyone out
Yes.
there that is interested in volunteering for any of our upcoming events, as Charles mentioned, we also do have an upcoming expo coming up that we will be having in May of this year. We normally have it in June, so that date has been changed for the
Okay.
16th of May. And we're also always looking for volunteers. Anyone interested, can email info@pvacc.org, and we'd be happy to sign you up as a PVA volunteer. And
All right,
again,
great.
Happy New Year to everyone, and
Happy New
looking
Year.
forward to the.
I said we got about 10 seconds.
Okay.
I'm Charles Whitehead, your host. We got Martha Varela and Elizabeth Yell as our co-host. We'll see you next time.
Wishing for a little bit more information? You'll get it all here on KCAA Radio.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves